Welcome back to the channel, you lovely people. Bear with me on the editing. I've invested in a second camera and I'm going to see how I can bring it together. I can't promise any miracles. Right then, we're sat on the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. My wife and I now have owned this for 18 months and 27,000 miles. So I reckon I'm now in a good spot to bring you guys the things they could have done a little better. I would say bad things, but they're not really bad things. And then of course go over some of the good things again, but I'm sure you all know exactly what they are from my previous videos. Right, let's crack straight into the bad things. I've got a little script that I've written for you. It's something that happened the other day. If you're familiar with the cheese model and the holes aligning, this is definitely what happened here. But the problem is, you could say, oh, well, the chance of that happening again is so slim, but it did happen. So close your eyes, relax, listen to my Cornish tones. You've woken up fresh and ready to go after a gorgeous night's sleep. Your Tesla is charged for pennies through the night. You know the car is probably frozen though, because it was going down to -2 last night. But taking 10 minutes to manually defrost the car is a thing of the past, with features available in the app that do that for you nowadays. So you creep out of bed not to awaken the beast, head downstairs to feed the cats. You glance at the microwave to double check the time and the clock is off. Oh dear. We all know that means a power cut. You can feel your blood pressure rise slightly. The first question that pops into your mind has the car charged? You knew when you got home last night it didn't have very much left and you need a little bit today. Maybe it's charged a little, maybe it's not charged at all. That's okay. Grab your phone to fire up the Tesla app. The power cut though is still in force and has obviously knocked out the Wi-Fi, but we're supposedly in a developed country in the 21st century. Surely the usual 5G network is working. No, it's not. The local internet mast was also affected by the power cut. So I'm unable to remotely communicate with my car. That's okay though. I can use the issue Tesla car key surely to get into the car. Hang on a second, it was -2 last night. The car's going to be frozen. So I'm not going to be able to use the door handles and I can't access the Tesla app to use the unlatch feature because my phone without any internet at all is effectively useless. So let's sum up the situation we find ourselves in. I have no other way of communicating with the Tesla, and without the unlatch from the app, I have no way of entering the car to warm it up from the inside because the car is thoroughly frozen. It's effectively a very expensive, fancy ice cube. Right then, so to sum that up, folks, you might all be smiling now at my predicament that was the other morning. I have some multiple choice questions. Pick which answer you like and stick it in the comments below, or create your own one. So this is A. Swear at the car out of frustration, call in sick and go back to bed. You need to wait for the internet to be able to access the car. The car isn't going to defrost anytime soon and you have no idea how long the power cut is going to last for. B. Gamble with lukewarm water to try and defrost the driver's side door and the window surround, praying that the glass isn't going to crack due to the warmer water. You'll then be able to hopefully open the door and defrost the car from the inside. But this is a huge gamble with the freezing cold glass reacting to warmer water. C. Awaken the beast and see if her phone provider has any internet to then be able to access the car as normal. But you run the risk of the almighty wrath for disturbing her from her beauty sleep. D. Sell the car to a company who will come and tow it away and not have to worry about ever opening it ever again. Or E. Forgive the car for its imperfection, swear allegiance to Tesla and Elon, and then call in sick and head back to bed anyway. There we go. That was a situation that arose a week or so ago. Obviously it doesn't happen very often, but for that moment in time, I couldn't use the car without gambling with the lukewarm water, which of course you shouldn't really do. There's plenty of examples of the glass cracking, shattering, anything. So there we go. Stick it in the comments below. I try not to say it in my videos too much, folks. If you do like the content and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I feel sick to my core asking, but just with that little nudge, maybe it reminds someone to subscribe. It's completely free to do. And you can see now we're nearly up to 3,000 of you guys watching my content, which is fantastic. And we're really starting to go somewhere, like being able to reinvest in a second camera and little things like that. So please hit subscribe, hit like, maybe even hype the video, and stick a comment in below. See if you can antagonize someone else and get a nice argument going. That'll be awesome. Right then folks, next up on the list of the bad things, number 2, so brake scorning. If you're not sure what this is, stick it in Google and see what Google comes up with. But basically, you'll see some slightly circular round bits of rust build up on your brake calipers. This means there's something wrong with the pads. They're not working properly. However, give Tesla their dues. They did contact me first and said, your 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance, effectively, in other words, has rubbish brake pads on it. We all know the brakes on Teslas when they first came out, especially the Performances, were poor. And they called me back in and they retrofitted a much better set of pads. They even actually invited me into the garage to show me what they were doing, which I'm pretty sure they shouldn't be doing. And I wasn't even making a video at the time, so they weren't trying to impress anyone. Yeah, and then the mechanic took it out himself. And as you can see from the hints and tips video that I'm going to pop up in the corner, there's a brake burnishing feature within the service mode, and he went off and did that for a while, and it basically removed the scorning completely. And ever since that must have been 23,000 miles ago. Ever since then, the pads and discs have been absolutely immaculate. Right then, ladies and gents, these front seats in the Performance, they are phenomenal. The bolstering is fantastic and they are really great. Sorry about the mess. We do have some horses and we throw all sorts of stuff in here. Right then, there's squeakiness here. If you're a gentleman or a lady of a certain size and you're kind of between your shoulder blades sits in this area and you're pushing back, there is some kind of vent or some kind of plasticky thing you can hear and it rattles around here. It is a common factor, and I don't know that Tesla have a fix for it. It's a couple of inches below the Insane badge. So you can actually see on the driver's seat, and I'll put a description for this product in the link below. It's not an advert. It's off Amazon and it's only cheap. However, it's a bit of support. It actually blocks the area where the weight goes. So then here, you can actually put all your weight back. I know it's not perfect, and in an ideal world, the seats would just not make the noise. But that, and I promise you, it actually works. My wife is much smaller, she's down here with her back, so it doesn't make a difference. However, for me being a lot higher, and I'm sure a lot of viewers are, that actually works, and I promise you it does. Anyway, link in the description below, you'll find it on Amazon. Right then, let's back out from the chairs. That's enough said about those. The final thing, so I've been racking my brains about this car and other things that it could improve on. When it gets a little bit dirty and you clean the outside as normal, and I always pick on BM, but in a negative way, and I'm actually going to pick on the Germans in a good way today, because this does not happen where it does on the Tesla. I've left this door open on purpose because if we shut it there, if you clean the car as usual, along the sills, along here, like the side skirts, and if you open your door, there is always, it's not too bad today, but if it would build up, if you can see it, all of this dirt. And it builds up all in here quite a lot. So let's just go around. I'll show you another door just to show, and it's often a little bit worse in the back. So yeah, look at this. So it builds up. I mean, this is a real first world problem. However, the Germans, obviously when their doors are closed, this is sealed a lot better. And it's not build quality or anything like that because of the insulation and the noise reduction inside, with all of this being double glazed, and then the actual seal of the cabin, like around here, is perfect. But this area does get muddy. I know you can retrofit things, but you shouldn't have to do it. If we look here, you can see, look, this is where it's coming from. This inner section of the door, which I clearly haven't cleaned for a while, but I shouldn't really have to clean this part of the door, does get absolutely filthy, and it transfers onto this intersection. Whereas the German cars, and probably most other brands, that doesn't happen. All right then, gents, and ladies, of course. So they're the kind of rougher side of life, which it really isn't that bad. The car has been glorious for 27,000 miles, 18 months, absolutely hassle-free. So they're the kind of rougher bits. The best bits though, I mean, I can wax lyrical about this car all the time. I'm not trying to sell you a Tesla at all. It's just my opinions and spreading what I love about this car. So let's just go the Performance straight away, and I'm not going to bang on too long. Everyone knows what these things are capable of. On paper, it's around 3 seconds. They quote 2.9, but that's pushing their luck a little bit with the 1 foot rollout and a slightly less powerful variant in Europe compared to America. However, the performance for merging, overtaking, spotting gaps at roundabouts, things like that, it is a joy, an absolute joy to have that at your right foot and at your disposal. And also the all-wheel drive system on these cars, so the long-range all-wheel drive or the performance, which is always all-wheel drive, is just stunning. As you might see, I'll put another pop out from the snow visit that we had the other week when I tried to get the wife to work in the morning in chill mode. This thing just performed on 27,000 miles old Pirelli original summer tires. Crazy, crazy good. Anyway, that's the first thing, but everyone knows that. On to the next one. So next up is the look. So it's slightly controversial. Teslas, and for my American viewers, I'm really trying to say that with an S. I hope you appreciate this, guys, rather than a Z. I know I'm folding to peer pressure here. But Teslas, this performance, just appreciate it for a second. It looks amazing. The offset of the carbon fiber parts compared to the white is stunning. It obviously rides lower than all of the other long ranges and standard ranges. The diffuser at the back, the spoiler at the back. It looks amazing. They've done such a good job. The more aggressive headlights, but then again, saying that, the old cars weren't that bad looking. The back ends of the Highland and the back end of the new Juniper, my mate's one that I picked up recently, again, I'll put a pop out for Keith. And I've got a 1 month on collection video. We're recording it at the moment, actually, so that'll be really interesting. I think they have had a little accident in it as well, which will be good to see. But the rear ends of them should be censored. They are phenomenal. The third really good thing for me, and you guys must appreciate this, if you're still watching this now, you better be subscribed and liking because it's raining out here almost. I've actually kept my glasses on today to feel more intellectual bringing this to you. But anyway, the third thing is the regen braking. The fully 1 foot driving ability on this car is second to none. I hate that expression, but it really is. It is the best on the market. The brakes aren't grabby at all, and the kind of limo style stop that it comes to is just so impressive. Obviously, lots and lots of EVs have 1 foot driving. Some go all the way to a stop. So I suppose that's 1 foot driving. Some don't quite come to a stop, or some you can adjust the settings. But the regen braking in this car is just amazing. And the crazy thing is with Tesla, they haven't really had to develop it. They hit the mark immediately. It was just really good right from the start. So congratulations to the techs and the engineers on that. The regen braking is just phenomenal. And you can see why it's so phenomenal, because then that bad point happens you do get a bit of brake scorning, or not brake scorning, but the brakes need burnishing more because you're just not using the brakes. I can drive from here to London, here all the way down to Cornwall, as long as you're not being ridiculously aggressive at roundabouts. I won't touch the brakes once in the whole trip. It's so relaxing. Anyway, that's my third good thing, is the regen braking. So my final point, just to finish up with, thing is, the good things, I could just talk about them all day. I don't need to, because I'm not trying to sell the car to anyone. It might feel like that. I'm not on any kind of commission or anything, but it's just the tech. Tesla are effectively an energy and a tech company. The tech is amazing. The self-driving is amazing. I know we don't have the full self-drive over in the UK yet, but I cannot wait for that to come. I'll be subscribing to that straight away. Obviously, they're gonna probably take away the full package for that, but you'll be able to subscribe, which actually is a good thing, because of if you have an accident and you've bought the package, the full self-drive is not transferable. So if you're in this country, do not be buying the full self-drive package at £6,800, I think it is. Wait for it to come out properly and you'll be able to get a subscription. Because then if you have an accident, unfortunately, you can unsubscribe and then just resubscribe on the new car. So do not go buying the big package. But anyway, with the tech, the center console and the rear console now, the smoothness are phenomenal. The Tesla app is absolutely amazing. The only thing is actually a little worried with the Tesla app. I have found a way of glitching it sometimes. If you're on the location and then you want to put it in satellite view and you're zoomed all the way in, or you want to search for superchargers and you're zoomed all the way in, it sometimes glitches and crashes the app. That might just be my phone, but it does. So, but if that's happening to you as well, if you just zoom out a tiny bit, then click satellite view or superchargers, it works perfectly, absolutely fine. But folks, there we go. Hopefully I haven't bored anyone I brought up the bad ones first because if that's what you wanted to see and leave some comments in there hating Tesla, then go ahead. But they're the good things and the bad things to take forward into 2026 and if you're purchasing this car or any of the Teslas. Of course, if you are going for it and you're just doing some final research, please use my referral code that's in the description. That'll get us both. I'm not going to lie to you and just say it's you guys, it's both of us. We both get 650 free supercharger miles, which is a nice round trip to almost anywhere in the UK. As I said, coming up, I've got the 1 month on with Keith coming up, which will be good to see how he's getting on with the Y, and I don't think it's been smooth sailing from what I've heard. And after that, this little darling's going to be hitting 30,000 miles. So hopefully it's going to be the first 2024 Model 3 Performance in the UK that runs the 30,000 mile battery health check, which I can do. Of course, if you check out my old battery health check at 20,000, it was sat at a nice 97%. So really doing well. So I'll be interested to see how the results are on that one. Right then, folks, that'll do for today. I'm getting more and more wet. Hopefully I can manage to edit this together somehow with me looking at different cameras. But yeah, have a good 2026 and I'll see you guys soon.